Where's the price of silver going to go in 2022? Well, we're going to take a look at a thought-provoking article that taps into several sources that predict just that. So stay tuned. Well, what's shaking, YouTube? Welcome to the 49th episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, I want to thank you for stopping by and for checking out the new video. And if you'd like to help support the Silver and Gold Stack Attack, why not click on that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. You guys know I truly appreciate the support. It means a lot. So, now that we're well into 2022, it's fair to wonder what this year is going to bring when it comes to silver, right? Well, that being said, I found this article by Jeff Clark over at goldsilver.com, and he kind of takes a look at several different key resources and where they think silver is going to go this year. It's some wild stuff, so be sure to check it out. Let's take a look.
All right, before we actually get to the article, let me stress that I am not a financial analyst, not even close. You're going to need to assess the information in this article with a grain of salt, and not necessarily as a reflection on what silver is going to do in 2022. As always, you got to do your own due diligence. Don't do something crazy and say that the Silver and Gold Stack Attack channel gave you financial advice.
Don't you do it! Don't you!
Alright, so let's go through here and see what we got. Again, this is from Jeff Clark, who is a senior analyst at goldsilver.com. What he's done is he's compiled a bunch of predictions from a number of analysts inside and outside the precious metals industry. And he gives his own at the end of it. So let's hit it. Oh, he starts off by saying, like most predictions, the ones for silver in 22 vary. You think? No kidding. Some are bullish, some are bearish, and some just out there. So he's saying also that silver averaged 25.03 in 2021 and ended the year at 23.08. That sounds about right. We started strong early in 2021. The values were up in the 25. I think it hit 26 at one point. I can't remember what it topped out at, but it definitely ended at 23 and change. So here's where a dozen analysts think the price is headed this year. Bank of America says it's going to average $30.13 during 2022. Metals Focus, 25.75 average. Lawrence Lepard or Leopard Equity Management says 35 average, $50 high. Way to put it out there, Lawrence. BMO 1760 average, so clearly they're not too high on silver's potential this year. Citigroup claiming a $40 high and 50 to 100 possible in coming years. Coming years, that really, people have been saying coming years for what, 30 years? The last 30 years? The years keep on coming, buddy. Commerce Bank, I don't know, Commerce Bank. $26. Gehring and Rosen, whatever. Higher, no price given. 500 possible this decade. We'd better hope not, to be quite honest. If it hits 500, the proverbial crap has hit the fan if we hit 500.
Emotional damage!
Goldman Sachs. Sachs. They say it's going to be higher this year. Scotiabank, $25, so right about the same as 2021. Wallet Investor doesn't think too highly of silver, $18.26. David Hunter, whoever he is, says it's going to hit a $50 high. And Heraeus Precious Metals, they say it's going to average 26 with a high of 32. Out of all these here, I think I would go. I would probably go with this average right here of 25 and a high of 32. I don't know. That to me seems like the range. If it hits 32, it's going to be crazy. But I think I would take that range right there. Now, what's my prediction? Well, if I had to predict, and again, don't take me verbatim. My prediction for silver is this. It could go up. It could go down. It might stay the same. There you go. Silver and Gold Stack Attack has spoken definitively. Anyway, sorry guys, it's been one of those days today. Too much coffee. All right, you can see the disparity. It's going to average 23% lower or climb as much as 116% to $50 this year. Then he goes into saying to understand or answer those questions, you first have to understand what silver is. We know what it is. We know it has dual purposes. Industrial demand, yep, we know that. They're saying that industrial demand for silver is going to go nowhere but up. This is true. This is not a full-blown holy crap moment. We know the demand is going to go up because green technologies require silver, electric vehicles, solar panels, 5G, blah, 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 blah. The Silver Institute says industrial demand is going to rise in 2022, and because they're projecting a jump in all these right here, so you can read those. He goes on to say much of this demand has not hit the silver market yet. Hello. But now that the Senate has passed the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, the jump in demand for silver is about to kick in. Well, we got that going for us. We'll wait and see. Demand is already at record highs. Total silver demand in 2021 reached 1.029 billion ounces, the first time it exceeded 1 billion ounces since 2015. A lot of people early in 2021 got in on it. All right, and then there was the quote-unquote silver squeeze, so I can understand where that came from. Investment demand after industrial use. You know, he's saying it's going to be hard to accurately predict where it might be headed. All right, but bottom line, between demand for silver's two main functions, industrial and investment, this means we should expect higher silver prices in 2022. Yeah, yada yada. He goes on about how to predict silver price, but very few of us are qualified to really dig deeply into that. We know it's going to be by demand, and by demand, that'll determine shortage. Shortage will determine pricing, yada yada. Okay. Gold silver ratio. Yeah, I don't know. It's if you don't know how to do it, gold silver ratio is simply the price of gold divided by the price of silver. All right, that's how much silver you need to get 1 ounce of gold. And if you look, let's see what we'll give you an example. All right, so gold today, right now, is 1863.17. All right, so 1863.17. We're going to divide that by silver, which is 2370. 23.70. This is going to give us our silver to gold ratio. Right now, it's about 78.5 ounces of gold, or 78.61 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. So, yeah, silver to gold ratio is 78.61 right now. It's down from 80. You know, it is down because silver's been creeping up in the 24s. So, not too bad. But he goes on to say the higher the ratio, the more undervalued silver tends to be relative to gold. The lower the ratio, the more overvalued silver is to gold. So, it's crazy. But I'm not going to get into the rest of this stuff. This is your gold-silver ratio. You can kind of see where it's been historically since '68. Feel free to check out the article. If you haven't seen it, here's the link right up here. You can read. There's some good stats in here. Not bad. This is where silver usually trails gold and outperforms it. You can check that out. So I'm not gonna really get into that. So Jeff goes on to say and give us his own 2022 and 5-year silver predictions. That was nice of him. Minimum high, he says the minimum high for this year is going to be $30. Potential high if we have no crisis. Good luck with that. There's going to be a crisis somewhere. Potential high with crisis could be up to 50. Potential low if the stock market crashes, $15 an ounce. And likelihood silver is higher in 2022. He gives it 90%. Likelihood that it falls below $12, which was a 2020 low, less than 5%. Jeff's enormous 5-year prediction. So by 2027-ish, he's predicting $100 an ounce. Well, okay. Again, that sounds great on paper. And if it's truly demand versus supply that we're at that level, that'd be great. But if it's because the dollar has tanked and it's not the world's reserve anymore, well, there's going to be trouble. So should we be hoping for that? Yeah, if things are okay, that'd be great if it was due to demand. But if it's due to SHTF or the dollar crashing, that's not good for anybody. But hey, we'll see what happens.
All right, moving on. So I did warn you in advance that those values and predictions were going to be all over the place, and they are. Some analysts were realistic. Others were down on silver. And still others were somewhere out in left field. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but it is what it is. This is nothing that we haven't seen before and nothing we're not used to. So, one more thing they didn't mention that affects silver spot prices, and that's ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, if you're not familiar. Basically, an ETF is a publicly traded fund that invests your money in a particular asset. And as that pertains to us, that'd be gold, silver, and other PMs. So, for some people, rather than buying and storing precious metals, they like to purchase shares in the ETF, which reflect a share of the fund's holdings. And those holdings physically back the ETF and are held in storage. But not all ETFs are the same. Some of them use futures and options to track the price of silver. And while ETFs using silver derivatives can return similar values to physical silver, they also come with unique conditions like backwardation and what's called contango. Backwardation, without getting complicated, is a market condition where the futures prices are lower in succeeding delivery months, and that can inflate ETF returns beyond that of physical silver prices. And alternatively, contango, C-O-N-T-A-N-G-O, is a market condition where the futures prices are higher in the succeeding delivery months, and that erodes ETF returns from that of physical silver prices. So, how does all that mumbo jumbo affect spot price? Well, ETFs can make the overall supply of silver appear to be much larger than it really is, which in turn keeps the spot price low, keeps it in check. At least that's how I understand it all anyway. If you have more information on how ETFs affect spot price, please feel free to leave a comment below and educate the rest of us, because the stuff gets pretty crazy confusing sometimes. So, that being said, it's going to wrap up another edition of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. I appreciate you making it all the way to the end. I'd love to hear your thoughts on silver prices in 2022 in the comments below. Are these predictions we've just gone through reasonable, or are they out of the stratosphere? Or are they too low? And let me know if you've invested in ETFs as well. Me personally, I've decided that I'd rather have physical PMs in my possession. But they might be right for you or someone else. But anyway, I'll see you next week with another episode. But until then, stay safe, get stacked, peace!